Typhoon may form near Taiwan.傅崐萁slammed for hijacking graduation with political speech. Gas leak prompts road closure in Tainan's Yongkang district. Chinese nationals charged with smuggling dangerous fungus into U.S. Vietnam scraps two-child policy. Boeing agrees to $1.1 billion deal over fatal 737 MAX crashes. Bill Gates to donate majority of $200 billion fortune to Africa. World number 361 shocks tennis world at French Open.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funny News. It's Friday, June 6th, Russian Language Day, and here are your top stories. And for today's Taiwan news, due to southwesterly winds and abundant moisture, heavy rain or thunderstorms may hit western Taiwan's mountains today. Despite stable weather, experts warn tropical disturbances near the Philippines could develop into a typhoon and approach Taiwan next week. KMT lawmaker Kun-chi, facing a recall effort, sparked backlash after using a Hualien High School graduation to promote his political record. Students and parents appeared disengaged as he delivered a lengthy speech boasting of funding gains. A gas leak was reported around 7 p.m. on June 5th on Zhongzhen North Road in Tainan's Yongkang district. Firefighters detected flammable gas levels between 3% and 5% in a nearby drain and sealed off a 50-meter area. One-way traffic control remains in place. And in global news, two Chinese nationals have been accused of smuggling a fungus into the U.S. that officials describe as a dangerous biological pathogen. Yuan-Qingjian and Zongyong Liu have been charged with conspiracy, smuggling goods, false statements, and visa fraud. The complaint alleges Mr. Liu tried to smuggle the fungus through Detroit Airport so he could study it at the University of Michigan laboratory where his girlfriend, Ms. Chan, worked.
The fungus, called Fusarium graminearum, can cause a disease in wheat, barley, maize, and rice that can wipe out crops and lead to vomiting and liver damage if it gets into food. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, the fungus is described in scientific literature as a potential agri-terrorism weapon, adding that it is responsible for billions of dollars in economic losses worldwide each year. Officials further allege that Ms. Jian received funding from the Chinese government for her research on the pathogen in China. They also claim she is a member of the Chinese Communist Party. The investigation was a joint effort between the FBI and U.S. Customs and Border Protection.
Vietnam has scrapped a long-standing policy limiting families to 2 children as the communist-run country grapples with a declining birth rate. Couples could make their own decisions about how many children to have and how much time to wait between births, reversing a decades-old preference for 1 or 2 child families. Authorities are now searching for ways to boost families as Vietnam's birth rate fell to a record low of 1.91 children per woman in 2024, which is below replacement level.
The promotion of 2-child families dates back to the 1960s in communist North Vietnam, though this policy was further developed in reunified Vietnam during the 1980s and 1990s, including through the country's first decree on family planning in 1988. The 2-child policy was not universally enforced, though members of the Communist Party could face sanctions. Birth rates are especially low in urban centers such as Ho Chi Minh City, where the rising cost of living has been identified as a barrier for young families. Its birth rate fell to 1.32 in 2023. The national birth rate of 1.91 children per woman recorded in 2024 was down from 2.11 in 2021. Neighboring countries such as Singapore, Thailand, and Malaysia have shown similar trends.
Boeing has agreed to pay $1.1 billion to avoid prosecutions over 2 fatal airline crashes that killed 346 people. The payments are part of a settlement with the U.S. Department of Justice over crashes involving 737 MAX jets in October 2018 and March 2019. The agreement includes the U.S. aviation giant paying $444.5 million to the families of crash victims. It will also allocate $455 million toward improving its compliance, safety, and quality programs.
Under the deal, Boeing also agreed to pay a criminal penalty of $487.2 million, with half of that already paid in 2021. A company spokesperson said, Boeing is committed to complying with its obligations under this resolution, which include a substantial additional fine and commitments to further institutional improvements and investments. 2 aircraft crashed in separate but nearly identical accidents. In October 2018, all 189 people on a Lion Air flight died after the aircraft crashed into the Java Sea 13 minutes after takeoff from Jakarta, Indonesia. In March 2019, an Ethiopian Airlines flight crashed 6 minutes after takeoff from the Ethiopian capital of Addis Ababa. All 157 people on board were killed. Both crashes were linked to faulty flight control systems.
U.S. tech mogul Bill Gates has pledged the majority of his $200 billion fortune toward health and education services in Africa. Speaking at an event in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, he said that his pledge would focus on unleashing human potential through health, through education across the continent, adding, every country in Africa should be on a path to prosperity. Gates said that cuts have led to the expiration of vital food and medicines across 8 warehouses, which could precipitate the spread of deadly diseases.
I'll say that the majority of those resources will be focused on helping with the challenges in Africa.
Gates, referring to his philanthropic organization, explained, I recently made a commitment that my wealth will be given away over the next 20 years. And so you can see, I'm extremely lucky. My wealth has gotten to a very high level here. And now, by accelerating my giving, I will have the Gates Foundation take all of those resources. In a separate press release, the Gates Foundation announced that it and its partners would address 3 main goals associated with the Microsoft Founders Pledge: ending preventable deaths of mothers and babies, ensuring the next generation grows up without having to suffer from deadly infectious diseases, and lifting millions of people out of poverty.
After an unfortunate first foray into the spotlight in April, Lois Boyson is finally in the headlines for all the right reasons. The French woman entered Roland Garros as a wild card. She is currently ranked number 361 in the world. And on Monday, Boyson came back from a set down to beat world number 3 Jessica Pegula to reach the quarterfinals of the French Open. She can now add French Open semi-finalists to her rapidly growing CV after beating 6th-ranked Mira Andreeva in straight sets 7-6, 6-3.
Boyson's victory means she will rise to number 68 in the world after the tournament. The 22-year-old is the lowest-ranked player to reach the 4th round at Roland Garros since Serena Williams, who was number 451 when she returned in 2018 after giving birth. Boyson also became the first player outside the top 300 to beat 2 top 10 opponents in a single tournament since Williams in Chicago, 1997. After becoming the lowest-ranked player to reach the quarterfinals at a major since 418th-ranked Kaya Kanepi at the 2017 U.S. Open, Boyson is now the lowest-ranked women's semifinalist at a Grand Slam in 40 years.
The answer for yesterday was C, retaliation. The attack was seen as an act of retaliation for the earlier bombing. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into today's news. Chinese nationals charged with smuggling dangerous fungus into U.S. Number 1. Smuggle, 走私非法偷运. The police arrested a group involved in smuggling drugs across the border. Number 2. Maize, 玉米. Farmers in this region grow maize as their main crop every year. Number 3. Pathogen, 病原体,致病因子. Scientists study pathogens to understand how disease spread and how to prevent them. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced next week. Russian Language Day was established by UNESCO in 2010. The date was selected because it coincides with Alexander Pushkin's birthday. He is considered the father of contemporary Russian literature. His first poem was published when he was just 15 years old. In terms of the Russian language, his work is also considered critical because it combines all the contemporaneous elements of Russian. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune in to Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host, and I'll see you next time.